What a game. What an incredible game of football. I'm so relieved that we haven't ended our unbeaten run. We've come away with a draw today against Liverpool, but more importantly, I guess, for the neutrals, it was a fantastic game of football. It had literally everything, except for maybe a red card and, well, a few other crazy things that can happen in a football match. But in terms of seeing goals that should have stood but were given offside, or just generally a very good football game today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I'm an Arsenal fan, and it got me thinking when I was thinking about what to say as the opener to this episode. That is exactly what I didn't feel like during the last few years supporting Arsenal. I didn't enjoy watching us against the big teams because I knew what we were capable of, and that was collapsing. It's different times. Being an Arsenal fan is different now. It's really refreshing. I love the fact that when we do go down by a goal, which has happened quite a few times, we don't drop. Our heads don't drop. We seem to just be in the game all the time, which is really refreshing. And it's certainly something that's changed since our new manager has come in. And I'm so proud of the team tonight. And I'm so grateful we've got Emery. I know you might look back at this video in a year's time to get a soundbite of me saying, oh, I love Emery, because who knows what's going to happen in the future. It might turn sour. But right now, I am so excited for the future for this football club, because we've done something today that we've really not been able to do for a long time at Arsenal, and that is not collapse. And I mean it. We often collapsed whenever we would concede a goal against one of the big clubs. Think of some of the previous games against Liverpool, the one at Anfield quite recently where we got smashed 4-0, I think it was. You just think to yourself, it was so obvious that a lot of people were expecting Arsenal to get smashed tonight. I think a lot of people, I would say 90% of the people on my timeline on Twitter that were not Arsenal fans, and I'm not saying Liverpool fans were saying this as well, but a lot of the neutrals, a lot of people that wanted to make a prediction of the game were saying that Arsenal will get beaten pretty badly today, even at home. But it wasn't the case. And actually, I would argue we played really good football tonight, and we looked, I'd say, the majority of the game, the better team on the ball. But what I will say is we were lucky at times. I think full credit to Liverpool for coming to the Emirates, playing their... I mean, they do play very attractive football at Liverpool, and we were able to kind of stifle them a little bit today, but they still played very nice football. And they could have won this game, and probably should have won this game based off some very unlucky decisions. I think it was very clear that Mane's goal in the first half was not offside. It was given offside, so very lucky there. And I'm happy to admit, as an Arsenal fan, as someone who obviously wants Arsenal to win games, that we got very lucky in that situation where it should have been 1-0 to Liverpool. They hit the post multiple times. Van Dijk with that header from the... Was it a free kick? Yeah, it wasn't a corner. It was a free kick which just came off the post. It was squeaky bum time. I've said that a lot as an Arsenal fan, because a lot of these games, specifically against the top six, it is always so nerve-wracking playing them, because I just know that we can just crumble. So really happy that we were able to somehow get a point. Lacazette's goal was fantastic. You can't argue that we didn't deserve a goal. I think we did deserve it. It was a long wait, but I felt like it was coming. I'm always confident that we'll score, especially in the second half. And when you look at the Arsenal lineup, it's got a lot of potential to cause issues against some of the best defences in the world. And talking of some of the best defences, you've got to look at Liverpool's Van Dijk. I don't think there is actually a better centre-back in the Premier League right now. He has everything. He has everything a defender needs. He's smart. He reads the game so well. He's physically huge. He's a massive guy. But you'd think that'd come with some bad qualities. Maybe he'd be sluggish and quite slow and a little bit clumsy. But no, he's quick. He is very strong. He's commanding. He's going to be a fantastic defender for Liverpool for many years to come. And well done to Liverpool for getting him. They paid a lot of money for him, but boy, has it worked out. So Van Dijk had to get a shout. I think, like I said, one of the best defenders in the world right now, if not the best in the Premier League right now. I don't really think there's anyone playing better right now. If I really think about it quickly, I'm trying to think of any examples. I mean, I can't. Maybe Laporte, Man City. No, I think it has to be Van Dijk. And also, I wanted to mention Trent Alexander-Arnold. I love the guy. I think he's England's future captain. I honestly feel like he will be a future captain for England and Liverpool, to be fair. He's so good for his age, and he, at times, had Aubameyang in his pocket tonight. One of the most lethal strikers, one of the most informed strikers in world football right now. Couldn't do anything against him at times. I mean, it's crazy to think that your top scorer is getting completely outmarked, outbattled by a guy who can't even grow a beard yet. I mean, Trent is a fantastic talent, and Liverpool will do very well to hold on to him. I think that he will stay at Liverpool probably for the whole of his career. He's a local lad, isn't he? So who knows what will happen in the future? I mean, if a big, even bigger club, which is crazy, seeing how big Liverpool is, if they come calling for him, you never know. What else did I want to talk about today? Holding. I'm talking about English players. This is great. Trent and now Holding. Now, Holding's nowhere near the England setup right now, and I understand that. He hasn't been consistently in the Arsenal lineup. He hasn't really, been getting Man of the Match awards. He hasn't been in the limelight. It's not very easy for a defender to do that, I guess. And there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of great English centre-backs. I mean, look at Joe Gomez as well for Liverpool. Another really good performance from him tonight, so I guess I should give him a mention. But Holdini, he was holding the defensive line very well today. God, that's terrible. I don't know what's happened with some of the players at our club that last season were very much so fringe players, potentially lost players. I don't know how else to explain it. They were looking like they weren't going anywhere. Iwobi, Holding, just completely different players. I honestly don't know what's happened. What was Wenger doing wrong? Was it a case of it was too comfortable for the players? Training wasn't robust enough to keep them pushing on in their careers? I can't believe that, because Wenger he's done so well throughout his career nurturing young players. But there's something different about Holding, Iwobi, even Lacazette, Danny Welbeck, these players that maybe didn't have a great season last year. I think Lacazette's kind of in the middle there. I think he did have still a pretty decent season, but you can see this year totally different players. And Holding, for me, along with Iwobi, have to be the most improved players at the club. I don't see Holding being dropped. He was so good tonight. There was a moment towards the end of the game where Salah got the ball, and it was a simple pass out to Mane, who would have been through on goal, and they would have won it with minutes left on the clock. There's no doubt in my mind that Salah would have found that pass had Holding not seen where he needed to be. He was in the right place at the right time in the dying moments of a game where there's no question that everyone was tired. Everyone was lethargic. You looked at all the players really on the pitch slowing down, taking a lot of deep breaths, a few of them down with cramp. But no, Holding sprinted. That's a really weird one. He ran as quickly as he could back to defend this, and he got his body in the way. Just came off his shin, I think it was. But it was, I think, the best defensive moment of the game for Holding, because that was quite literally 3 points dropped right there if he didn't make that interception. And just in general, his distribution, his ball control, the way he gets the ball and just finds a pass, he looks up, he's so good at passing the ball. It's quite shocking to me that this player's just come out of nowhere. Where was he last season? He came on when he first joined the club. He came on early on in the season and he impressed. He looked okay, but you could clearly see a very raw diamond there, a very rough player that definitely had potential to be maybe what we're seeing today. And I'm starting to see that player again. It's just so good to see. I love the story, Milner, again, another English player. What's going on here? I know he's not going to play for England anymore, but Milner is still, for me, comfortably up there with some of the best in the league in his position. He was fantastic for Liverpool tonight. He got them the goal, and if you watch it back, just take a look at the technique. I know a lot of strikers would have been proud of that one, because it's not difficult. Or sorry, it's not hard. It's very difficult when the ball bounces up like it did and comes to you in a position where you've got barely any time to think. You've got defenders around you, you've got the keeper in the way, and you've got to keep the shot low. It's not easy. It really isn't. And a lot of players, I think, in that position would have skied it. The ball would have been out of the stadium. But no, he calms himself down. He takes his time with it. Even though it doesn't seem like it, he's looking all around him. You just watch the replay, and he smashes it into the bottom corner. It was very almost saved and blocked, actually. It's gone through 2 players, and it was a brilliant finish. And even I thought, yeah, I mean, fair play. And Liverpool maybe deserved to be taking the lead. You know, they had a lot of chances. But I had to mention Milner because I know Liverpool have a lot of great players in midfield, and there's a lot of competition. But for me, Milner has to be up there as one of the first names on the team sheet. I really do think that. I'm not just saying that because he scored tonight. It's very easy for me to just pick up on the goals and say this player was good tonight, he scored. But I watched Milner, he moved positions in the second half, it seemed. He was more on the right side instead of the left. And he was just everywhere. He honestly is such an underrated player, and I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans would agree with me. But the unbeaten run continues. It's a great result tonight. You know, I was almost planning ahead of time what to say if we were to lose tonight. And I was going to come into this video saying, look, I'm a realist. Let's be realistic. We've been on this incredible run. And, you know, at the time when we were 1-0 down, I thought to myself, this isn't even bad. This really isn't. I mean, Liverpool are clearly a better team than Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. They've got a better squad, I would say. They've got a manager that's been with them for a long time now. He's built a squad. He's invested a lot of money. They're in a better position right now than Arsenal to go ahead and challenge for the title. So losing 1-0, which is what I thought was going to happen when they scored, wasn't really that big of a deal. And I was ready to start the video saying, just don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We've been on this great run. It had to come to an end. We've been beaten by the better side. We move on. But instead, the plans were changed when Lacazette finished that beautiful goal around the keeper. And it's the same response for me. Like, it's a draw. Not the best result ever. But a draw against Liverpool is not bad at all, considering where we are in this current time. We're a club in a massive process right now, rebuilding after losing a manager that's been at the club for so long. We're transitioning into a totally new era. You know, we've got so many new things going on at the club, and it's a massive task. It really is, to keep the club together, keep the squad gelling, and to go into that top 4 fight every year. It's not going to be easy for us, and we're continuing this unbeaten run really nicely, and I'm super proud of the team. And most of all, I'm excited to be an Arsenal fan again, and I think that's a great way to end this video. So make sure you leave your opinions down in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed. Leave a like as well, I'd really appreciate it. Turn on the notifications as well so you get notified when I upload, and I will see you guys in the next review, and Arsenal Career Mode will be back tomorrow.